And it drains our energy and it tells us that we can't do things. We're not good enough. We don't get to have that. We shouldn't go for that. And you've heard this before, but this is giving it, I hope, some teeth, some power, some context. You can fulfill your purpose. You can step into your greatness. You can do the things that you've been wanting to do, that still small voice in you has been calling you to do, without the sabotage, without the chatter. This is the Leading with Love podcast. We're gathered here to open our hearts, expand our souls, live fully in our gifts, and co-create the world we want to see. Let's dive right in. Welcome back if you've been with us for a while. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. The Leading with Love podcast is here to help us learn how to lead with love and what that looks like. And today's topic is a really juicy, fun, and I hope helpful one for all of us. It's about our minds and the monkey mind. If you've heard that phrase, you know exactly what I mean. And some wise being, in fact, several, I'm sure many over time, have shared that our minds are meant to be tools, and we have let them be the master for way too long. We've let them run the show, and they are wonderful, magnificent tools, but they were never meant to be the master. And so I'm using the show analogy today because I want you to know that you're the star of your own movie and you're the director of your own movie. So we're going to get into today some ways that you can train your mind. You can create new neural pathways and write them over and over and over so that your mind dissolves those old patterns and it's working for you. Whether you want to call it your ego or your inner child or your subconscious or unconscious, you're going to train it with repetition and with some of the things we share today to help you go for everything that you wanted to go for, and you'll receive less resistance, no more procrastination. These are just some things I want to share with you that on my journey I have learned myself, and they're really valuable to me. And I want you to have these in your toolbox as well, so that you can actually achieve the heart's desires that have been placed in you. You can fulfill your purpose. You can step into your greatness. You can do the things that you've been wanting to do, that still small voice in you has been calling you to do, without the sabotage, without the chatter. And instead, we're going to have some tools and tricks today to train your mind. It's like when you're training a pet, right? And you teach it how to do things, you reward it, you give it positive reinforcement. Our minds are like this, and we can train it. In fact, they were trained when we were little to think a certain way and believe certain things. And all we're doing is we're going to rewire that a little bit. So let's get started. My first tip for you is to invest some time journaling, or even talking into the voice notes on your phone or your computer about what's your version of yourself that feels the best, that feels the most lit up, that feels the most passionate, that is embodying the gifts that you came here with and giving those to the world, sharing them, feeling vital, vitality, life force coursing through you, feeling good. Like, I want you to really get a good feeling. Doesn't matter what you think is possible right now. This is not about possibility at this moment. It's just about feeling into and getting some words around what your future self is like, okay? So imagine also that you are like an Olympian or even an actor or somebody who's going for the pinnacle of what life has for them, their top highest life path. This is what we're going to envision when we're doing this Imagineering. Like an Olympian who is training for a future event. They envision it, imagine it, visualize it. This has been shown in so many studies. What you envision creates mental patterns, and you want to rewrite with intention, positive, beautiful, reinforcing your best, highest version of yourself patterns. Thought patterns. And so this is what we're up to here. So once you have that, you can expect these investments of time that you're going to put in to come back to you. You can expect this activity to come back to you tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, because you're going to see the world reflect to you the changes that you're making in yourself. And the world is not something that you should be looking to for reinforcement when you're beginning this journey, when you're looking at improving or up-leveling your self-esteem, your self-image, your confidence. What you want is to focus inside, because the world hasn't reflected that back to you yet, right? You haven't done the work inside to have it reflected outside yet. So just invest the time to go inward a little bit and do this journaling that we are talking about. So now that you remember that the outside is just evidence of the past and your past decisions and your past thoughts, and you're spending some time on the inside, here's something that I want you to remember as well. What you do today and what you choose today, it seems obvious, but we never really think about it, serves or sabotages your future self. This beautiful, glowing, vital, lit up version of yourself. You have their life in your hands today, because now is all there ever is. So what you do today either breathes more life into them and creates them quite literally on this path, or it takes life from them and sucks energy from them, and they never get to be that because of the choices you make today and the thoughts you think today and the decisions that you make and live into today. So I want you to remember that you are serving your future self. Honor them. Make them look back and be grateful that you of today, the past version of them, did what it took to honor them and to ask, how may I serve you? What can I do for you that will make your life better, easier, more fruitful, more abundant, more full of love, more connected, whatever it is that your values are. And you can see other videos about values and how that leads to our happiness when we're really, truly taking the time to know what our values are and to choose those and live those on a daily basis. So this leads you to this conscious paying attention to what matters to you and what matters to your future self and what you want that to look like. Leads you to asking better questions. I recently heard on a podcast this woman share this beautiful question that her husband asked her when they were in a difficult situation. She was facing a challenge, and her husband said to her, "What would the most extraordinary woman in the world do right now?" And she just, just like my eyes are lighting up. He said to her, "That is what you are. That is who you are. So ask that question. What would my future self do in this situation? What would they want me to do? What would love do?" Sometimes you'll hear people ask, what would Jesus do? What would the divine do? Whatever that question is for you, ask an empowering question when you come up with situations every day, and have your future self in your heart and in your mind at all times. This is an anchor for you to remember that you are serving and honoring and hopefully causing gratitude in your future self. One of the best times to do this and to reinforce these beautiful new neural pathways that you are laying down is at night before you're falling asleep. So sometimes what we're doing is we're just decompressing and we're winding down, and we're not really thinking about the power of our imagination and what that means when we're taking it into sleep, where it can work on, instead of just, dissolving what happened during the day, it can work on what we put it to task to. So before you go to sleep, use the power of your imagination and of this future pacing, it's called. And just envision, because that liminal space between wakefulness and sleep is very, very potent. And so there are many YouTube videos online. There are lots of places where you can go and you can find affirmations to put you into sleep that are positive. And if you really intentionally envision yourself, you can use Neville Goddard's work. There are lots of people who do this. And I know I have created my own for myself with my own beautiful music and sound bath in the background and my own affirmations in my future self's state. I am this, I am abundant, I live here, I have so much impact, I do this. And if you can do that in your own voice, it is the most powerful. I've also done this for clients and friends where, we'll have a conversation and I will draw from them what their future self wants to say to them and make a recording for them. So if you want that, you can get in touch with me for that. Is something that I offer, but your own voice is even more powerful. In the meantime, there are plenty of options online, and you can just listen to something like that and put yourself in a state of grace and sleepiness and fall off to sleep in the highest vision of your future self that you can imagine. and see how that works after a few days. See how your tomorrow shows up after a few days of this. It's very, very powerful. It's life-changing. It's game-changing. And you truly are creating new pathways, and you're training your mind. You're telling it, no, thank you. We're not doing what we did before. Here's what I want you to think about. When you wake up every day and you're remembering this and you're training yourself to think like this, now I want you, the more this coalesces for you, I want you to practice being that person. Show up, practice with all the people in your life, whoever you meet, act from that place and that space and that being, so that you are practicing it. It doesn't even matter if you're calling in the love of your life, or if you're calling in an opportunity for many opportunities for you to have impact, or a new job, or whatever that might be. The more you act as if, and you've heard this before, but this is giving it, I hope, some teeth, some power, some context, so that you will remember and do this. The more you practice, just like that Olympian, when the person shows up that is your counterpart, your counterpoint, they will know you. They will recognize you. Because if they were going to match who you are now, they would have shown up already. And then you're not going to grow together, right? You're not going to be that person if the love of your life shows up right now. You want them to show up with like the best version of yourself, so you're attracting their best version and the exact match that is the most gorgeous, delicious, wonderful love you can think of, or the best job opportunity or opportunity for you to create with your gifts. You're going to find the doors and windows open for you as you meet people and talk from that being, that version of yourself. Practice. Magic happens when preparation meets opportunity, and this is you preparing. It almost becomes inevitable, this or something better, and it's not a surprise to you. There's a gap right now between you and that because it seems so far away and it seems like such a dream. The more you do this, the more you will be ready. You'll be prepared for those opportunities when they show up, because they'll be a match for you. And that is a beautiful thing. So one more thing I want to share with regard to this, it has to do with, someone called it relational self-esteem, and I'm also going to say transfer of skills. So in relational self-esteem, you take a look at, let's just use love as an example, a relationship, a romantic relationship as an example. I want you to think about if you're nervous to meet someone, or you're not sure how to act, that kind of thing. I want you to think about where you do thrive in relationships, where you show up with your heart open and you're confident and you have self-esteem. Maybe you're wonderful at work, at your job, or you're an entrepreneur and you're just amazing with your clients and you're just lit up, or you do speak on stage and that's where you feel most at home and most confident. Find a place where you feel that. Yes, you feel good. You feel aligned, you feel authentic, like your best self, and then transfer that in your mind to wherever it is you're still trying to shore up your sense of self, your sense of self-esteem, your sense of self-love. This is a very, very powerful practice. So I'm adding that in here today as well. These last couple of tools are really fun. I like playing with them, and I'm just going to offer them to you as a way to close out today and see if you find them helpful. If you don't, then don't use them. But I find them really fun. The first one is, as we said, you're the star of your own movie. You're the director. So actually imagine you're the star of a movie or a television show and cameras are following you around. You wake up in the morning. Start the camera when you want to, but imagine that you're actually on film, and you will notice that you show up differently. The easiest way to envision this is think about when your friends or family are playing, you're at an event, you're at a family event, whatever it is, and all of a sudden someone pulls a camera out and they say, cheese, smile everybody, we're taking a picture, and everybody straightens up and they smile and they change their persona because they want to bring their best self forth, right? And so this is that same tool, just using it consciously. Imagine that you are being filmed, and it will help you show up as your best self and be cognizant of things that are knocking you off course. You'll find yourself walking differently. It will help with your self-esteem. It will help with your confidence. And you wouldn't have thought that self-esteem and confidence would come into it when we're talking about the monkey mind. But it does, because the mind sabotages us, as we said, and it drains our energy, and it tells us that we can't do things. We're not good enough. We don't get to have that. We shouldn't go for that. Well, these are tools to help you actually go for those things, and they will naturally calm that little sabotaging monkey mind. And the other one was, it's related, but I thought was really cute, was imagine there is a commentator, like on a television show or a talk show or however you want to imagine it, and they are narrating your life. I'm telling you, this will make you show up differently. It's super fun. And I really just want to close this out by saying all of these are just tools for you to help rein in the tool that is your mind. And when we do this and we lay these new pathways and we train it, asking it better questions, showing it what we want, how to support us instead of sabotaging us, and continually making the conscious choice to live into that, your life, our lives are going to change drastically. And the more we do this, and the more of us that do this, the more we're going to be present to life and lit up and shining and joyful. And the more we do that, the more inspiring we are to others, to each other. And that is what I'm up to here, helping us remember who we really are and living into our best versions of ourselves so we can co-create the world we want to live in. Thank you for being here. I honor you where you are now and all of our future selves, and I love you. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you enjoyed this episode and it helped you open your heart, feel inspired, and know that we are all connected. Please subscribe and share so this work can touch more people. This is how we co-create the world we want to live in. Thank you so much again for joining us, and talk to you next time.